Hello and welcome to today's video. I got these three and I was just going to make one video about all three, but you know what, they're actually really solid pens and I think they all deserve a little review of their own, so I'm doing mini reviews of each of them. Today we are looking at this pen. This is the N10 model from Hongdian. This is a metal bodied pen and it's got this sort of red, I don't even know how to describe it, like waved material. There's also a blue version of this and a green version. I have to say the blue looks absolutely stunning, but it is the hardest one to find, at least when I purchased these pens a few months ago. The top of the pen is just a simple sort of semi-flat sort of disc in there. A couple of step downs. You've got a clip, which is like that teardrop sort of style clip. And that's springy and usable. The cap is cylindrical, continues along to this center band that reads, very small there, but Hongdian N10, along with some sort of like ornamental lines. The body of the pen continues along until we get to the piston filling mechanism at the end. This is a piston filling pen, and I won't be operating the system today simply because it is already filled with ink, but you dunk that into a bottle of ink, submerge the nib, and then you twist the knob and it puts a piston up and down in the body and draws ink up into the pen. The pen has these two round ink windows on it, which are cut out of the metal sort of overlay, and there's obviously a plastic inner liner that runs the entire length of the pen body. This pen is interesting because in the Hongdian lineup, this is the first one that had the number 8 size nib. And this is a black nib and this is a fine, simple steel nib, but it's also got an ebonite feed, which is a lovely sort of little bit of luxury here in a pen that comes in at a very reasonable price point. As I said, this is a screw cap pen and it comes off in about 1 2/3 turns. So quite nice, simple. It's a nice size pen in the hand, and that sort of number 8 size nib almost feels oversized on a pen this size. It's not a super big pen. It's a nice size pen. It's a good size pen, but it is a big nib. Number 8 size nibs in recent times have become a bit of a thing, and they have been on large pens like the Jinhao X159 and the 9019, and of course the Wingsung Mont Blanc ripoff as well, and a number of other brands as well. But on this sort of regular size pen, it's a big nib, and it really does look like a big nib. Just for the sake of the exercise, and I'll show you some more in a size comparison as well, but there is the black Hongdian number 6 size nib in comparison there to the number 8 size. So it's got really very broad shoulders there. And this measurement across the base here is where we get the 6 millimeters is 8 millimeters. So there's 6 and 8. But you can also see it's just a giant nib in comparison. It's a very attractive nib, but on this size pen, it does feel very large. Time for a size comparison now with these three Hongdian pens and the traditional Lamy Safari, of course. So we've got the N10, the A6, and the N7 here, and then the Lamy Safari. You can see in terms of size, the N10 is the longest, followed by the A6, and the N7 there is the shortest. And the Lamy Safari kind of splits the difference in this capped form. Uncapped, those proportions basically remain the same, with the Lamy Safari sort of splitting the difference. It's now a little longer there than the A6. All of these pens are considerably longer here than the N7. And the N10 there being the longest, and of course with that number 8 size nib, this is a great view of it alongside the other standard number 6 size Hongdian nibs. Technically, all of these pens post. The A6 and the N10 there being quite long, and they post onto the piston turning knob, which is not my favorite form of posting. The N7 here is probably the most successful posting and probably the best balance posted, but for me the balance is better with most of these pens writing with them unposted, because they are all fairly heavy pens. They're metal pens, and I'll go over the individual dimensions in a second, but I think the N7 is probably the best of the posted pens out of this lot. Dimensions now for the N10 model. It's 142 millimeters when it is capped. It's 133 when it is uncapped, so it is a very, very good size here. and 176 when it's posted. So it is quite long. I don't like with this pen posted. I don't like pens that post onto the piston turning knob. Even if it does catch onto that band ever so slightly, it's just not my favorite form. But it is also a big enough pen to use unposted. It's a nice size in the hand. The section is about 10.8 millimeters in the middle there, so not too bad. And around the cap at the widest point of the pen is 15 millimeters. It weighs 35 grams, 20 in the body and 15 in the cap. So also, if you are posting this pen, you're putting a fair amount of weight on the back there, and it is definitely back weighted. Okay, so it's time now for a writing sample, and here we have the Hongdian, I'll spell that wrong, Hongdian N10. This has a number 8 size, steel, fine nib. The ink in this today is from Van Diemen's ink, and part of their collaboration with the Tasmanian retailer Flywheel. This particular ink is Rust Brick Red. A lovely, rich, dark, reddy brown color. For those of you not familiar with Flywheel, shame on you, but also understandable. It's in a small town in just outside of Hobart in Tasmania, and it's got a letterpress and a printing press, all that kind of stuff. It's beautiful, but all this beautiful exposed red brick, and love, love, love this color. Okay, writing sample. So one thing you would have seen, firstly, there, and then here, is that there are the occasional little hard starts with this pen. Like, not a whole lot, but enough that you can notice it occasionally. Reverse writing is actually very nice. It's, once again, like the A6 model yesterday, there is a bit of a sort of softness or a bounce on this nib, which is quite nice. Not soft, not flex, not semi-flex, nothing like that. Just, it's just not like a rock hard nib, which is very nice. Quick writing. Okay, once again, a couple of little spots where it didn't quite work out. Now, ebonite feeds are designed to be super ink friendly and support flow and all that kind of stuff. And this has got a big number 8 size nib on it. So in a way, it's a little bit of a shame we get a couple of these little skips and hard starts and things. But generally speaking, when the pen is writing, it writes nice. It writes quite a decent fine line. Just the occasional hard start for me, which I could probably fix with a bit of tuning and stuff, which I tend to do with my nibs after I review them. But as they come, this is the kind of thing you may expect on a pen at this price point with the quality control that they're able to provide. Now, before we talk about the pros and cons, I want to talk about the packaging that the pens come with. Now, so I got 3 pens in one shipment, and I got 3 very distinctly different forms of packaging for those pens. Now, that is all well and good. I don't mind that so much. I don't buy the pens for the packaging. I just kind of found this interesting. The N10 here came in a little Ziploc bag. The N7 here came in a tiny little cellophane plastic sleeve, and the A6 came in a beautiful box. And in this box, I'll show you now because I might as well, we got like a little wrench and instructions and all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's a nice little package. What's really funny about this is that the quality of the packaging, so let's say this is the best packaging, followed by this and then the cellophane sleeve, is the reverse of the pen price. What I paid for these pens is the reverse of these. Now, I'll talk about the individual pen prices in their own videos. I just wanted to mention this here. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons now for the Hongdian N10. And unfortunately, there are a few cons. Firstly, yeah, there's a few skips on the nib and things like that. I don't love that. I also don't love these ink windows. I find them to be they're a bit small, they look a bit cheap. To me, they look a little bit like the ink windows on the Narwhal Nautilus, which isn't one of my favorite pen models. A beautiful looking pen, but had some issues, but this is beside the point. But a couple of things, like things don't line up. So the nib's not lined up with the lines, and I think you can adjust that so that it does. They're not lined up with the ink windows. It's kind of just a bit off. And as I said, I think that can be fixed. It's just something I've noticed here. Another issue I have is this line down the pen, and I didn't mention it when I was showing the pen, but there is this little line that runs down both sides of the pen. Now, is that a design feature or is that a necessity of the way that the material is finished? Either way, I kind of think that it's ugly. It gets in the way of the design of that material, and I think it looks bad, to be perfectly honest. Another issue I have with this pen is that the material just feels kind of slippery, particularly if you write with it for a long period of time. You do start to feel your fingers moving around on the material. But there are a number of things to really enjoy about this pen too. So firstly, the price. I got this including delivery for around 40 Australian dollars. This was the middle priced of the 3 Hongdian pens I got. So it's good, and it's a nice build quality for that price. All the threads are good, the piston mechanism is good, the clip is good. You know, it all ticks all those boxes. I've got no worries about any of that whatsoever. I like the size of the pen. I like the fact that it's not a particularly large pen. It does have a large nib, a number 8 size nib. It's, you know, it's a big nib on a relatively standard size pen. But yeah, it's a nice size, and I enjoy that. And I enjoy the fact that it has a number 8 size nib. I enjoy the fact that more brands are exploring that. Even if it's not entirely necessary, I'm enjoying that they're exploring it. It's fun. And also that nib has a nice softness to it. So I think after this has been tuned, I think this is going to be a really lovely pen, and a pen I'm going to enjoy writing with over a period of time. So thank you for watching. That was the Hongdian N10. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you have products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you would like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. It's your support that makes this channel possible. And it was your suggestion that, multiple suggestions, countless suggestions, that I look at Hongdian pens that led me to getting these. So thank you. And yes, a big thank you for watching and supporting my channel. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.